Today we're going to talk about finding the length of an arc. And what I mean by that is, let's say that we are looking at this arc here. Let's make this a little bit smaller. This arc right here, and we call that S. If I want to figure out the length of that, there is a formula that we can come up with, and we're going to derive that together. So the first thing I want you to think about is the fact that all the way around a circle, we know that that's going to be 2 pi radians, right? And this angle theta right here should be in proportion with this arc length compared to the entire circumference of the circle. So if the angle theta, if we compare that to 2 pi, we can also compare the arc length, which we're calling S, to the entire distance around the circle, which is, we know, circumference. And we know circumference is diameter times pi, or we can also think of that as 2 times the radius times pi. And so if I say this is 2 times the radius times pi, these two ratios should be equivalent to each other. And remember, our goal here is to figure out a formula for S, that arc length. So I need to isolate this S. And since we have a proportion, we can set these cross products equal to each other and solve for S. So if we take theta times 2 pi r, so theta times 2 pi r, and we set that equal to the other cross product, which is 2 pi times s. Now, if we want to get s by itself, we're simply going to divide both sides by 2 pi to get s by itself. 2 pi is going to cancel over here. It's also going to cancel over here. So that means your arc length s is equivalent to theta times r. But here's key. The key is when we started out, we took 2 pi. This was obviously the number of radians in a circle. So in our final formula here, this theta has to be in radians. That is key. Make sure that you have that written in your notes. So in a circle of radius r, the length s of an arc that subtends a central angle of theta radians is r times theta. Again, theta has to be in radians. So if you're given a problem where that angle, this angle right here, is in degrees, the first thing you're going to have to do is change that into radians to work with your arc length formula.